What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Deeper Podcast. My name is Josh Heathcote, and I'll be your host for today, as always, because it is my podcast. So, I know I haven't uploaded in quite a while, but it's because I've been really busy with work and I've just been enjoying my holiday before my big year of matric starts. So, let's get straight into this podcast. Today's podcast is all going to be about how artificial intelligence and its impacts on the human race. So before we get into this topic, we kind of have to have a brief overview of what AI is. So AI is an abbreviation of artificial intelligence, which is pretty much computers, robotics, anything to do with computers, pretty much at least. So AI was actually made not a couple years ago, but a couple centuries ago, and it was very early stages, very, very early stages, very much not as up to our standard as we are now, because back in the days they didn't have powerful computers like we do now. They didn't have powerful systems, powerful programs and all of that. They didn't have all of that back then. So it's very, very, very much different from what we have now to what it was then. So yeah, AI is pretty much everything around us, that is computers, robotics, whatever. So AI has a historical impact on the world. And some of the big impacts, some of the big breakthroughs that the world had is mainly two. Well, there's actually a couple. The biggest one is the internet. And if we didn't have the internet, I wouldn't be able to be showing you guys my podcasts, uploading my podcasts. We wouldn't be able to use Google, literally have a powerful computer in our hands, be able to search anything we want off of a search engine called Google. That is the internet. That was the biggest artificial intelligence breakthrough that the world has ever seen. Like, I don't think back in the days, if you had to tell someone, hey, there's going to be a search engine that you can pretty much search anything you want and it'll give you an answer within seconds, I think they'll laugh at you so hard. So another historical breakthrough is a program called Eliza, which is an AI chat therapist, actually. So like we have nowadays, which is ChatGPT, which you can pretty much ask anything. It's pretty much Google, but on steroids. Eliza was an AI chatbot therapist. So it was created by Joseph Weizenbaum from 1964 to 1966 at the MIT Artificial Intelligence Library. Eliza was designed to imitate a Rogan therapist by rephrasing many of the patient's statements as questions and asking them to be the patient. So if we take a look at that, like, wow, you pay hundreds of rands nowadays to go see an actual therapist, when quite literally in the 1960s, a chatbot, Eliza, was created to pretty much resemble everything we pay hundreds of rands for in your phone. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether Eliza is still up and functioning, but I'm sure it is. And I'm sure it's still making money, still getting viewers and all of that. Like, it is a very, very big breakthrough that the world has seen. So, another one, and a lot of you guys will know this one, and I think you guys can all relate to the fact that this was a big breakthrough in artificial intelligence history. So it is none other than Siri. Siri on the iPhones, which was created in 2010. After years of no AI evolution, Apple came out with the chatbot called Siri. Siri's voice recognizes engine using advanced machine learning algorithms to function, which is originally American, British, and Australian voice actors recording their respective voices. So, for those who don't know Siri is a Apple-only chatbot, which you can literally say, "Hey Siri," and your phone will activate. Like now, my phone's right here, and my phone activated Siri. So you can just see how powerful this device is. And you can pretty much ask it anything you want, and it'll give you an immediate response. You can say, "Hey Siri, start a timer," and it will do it for you. You can say, "Hey Siri, set up a recipe for whatever, milk tarts, whatever." Literally, you can ask Siri anything and it'll give you an answer in a matter of seconds. Now, with the historical impacts of AI and the breakthroughs in AI, we have to talk about the current state of AI in the world. So I mentioned this a bit earlier, but the most recent artificial intelligence breakthrough was ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT has been very controversial recently, with students using it to create essays and all pretty much projects that they need to do for marks for school. They say, "ChatGPT, write me a 500-word essay on the American history," whatever, and it'll give you an answer within seconds. And then all they do is they copy and paste it and they send it through to their professors, teachers, whatever. And the teachers have actually caught onto that, and now they have a program which pretty much AI checks all the essays that they get or projects that they get. Now that's another powerful tool. Asking AI to recognize if this text was written by an AI. It's just, this world is AI on top of AI on top of AI. Everything nowadays is just made and built with AI. Everything revolves around AI. The world wouldn't be as it is now without artificial intelligence and computers. It will just be completely different, and I don't think many of us will actually survive in the world without artificial intelligence. So another thing, another big thing is, I know this happened a couple years ago, but it's also an amazing example of the evolution of AI. Elon Musk. So he owns the space company SpaceX. Now they tested for years upon years on the fact that they want to recycle or reuse spaceship parts. So what they do is, when they send us a spaceship up into space, they pretty much, all the stuff that flies or comes off of the actual spaceship itself has GPS location, and it flies straight to a GPS coordinates to be recycled and reused, so they don't have to spend millions of dollars each time they want to launch a spaceship. Now, that wouldn't be able to happen without artificial intelligence, because how would the computer or the CPU of that specific rocket ship parts be able to just fly itself to specific coordinates on the Earth? It's an amazing piece of AI, and I think we can all be really appreciative and be very much fathomed by Elon Musk over creating that source of equipment. So another thing is, AI is used in many different sections of life, and some of the biggest parts is in healthcare actually. So let's say you have cancer. A machine will be able to scan your brain or scan any part of your body to locate the tumor in your body. AI is amazing, and you're only able to find that tumor with AI. Back in the old days, you wouldn't be able to easily find a tumor as it is so easy right now to find a tumor in the body without artificial intelligence. And if you go into the hospital, you get hooked up to an EKG device, and pretty much it literally just tells you your heart rate, it tells you your blood pressure, and all those statistics most people don't understand. And it is so amazing that AI is able to literally get that information and represent it in a matter of seconds. And it also has a big impact, AI has a big impact on the financial side of the world, with programs nowadays to help with accounting, help with tax, help with all of those easy things that AI is able to do, which will be very hard for humans to do on a daily basis, especially with huge figures that multi-million rand or multi-million dollar companies face each month, that they have to do tax deductions, that they'll have to do accounting for that firm or for that business. It is amazing how software is so easily made can just produce so much like ease into this world and make everyone's life so much easier with a matter of clicks and just entering numbers. Like a software, an accounting software, can literally put all the values that you need, whilst all you need to do is just type in the values of what stock or of what purchases or whatever that you have made. And it will bring you up a whole, everything that you need, everything that the accounting firm needs, everything that the accountant needs to provide to the company, it will make in a matter of seconds. And all the user has to do is just type in a couple of numbers. And that's just amazing. That's literally unfathomable. And it just, I think it is such an amazing piece of technology. But one of the biggest parts of AI nowadays is the ethical issues. So you see nowadays people get scammed, people's data gets stolen and all of that, and then it gets encrypted where the thief or the hacker has only access to. So the biggest thing is, like, let's say you press on a link on Instagram. I remember a couple months ago, there was this big thing about going around that if you press a link that gets sent to you, your account will get hacked. And it is true. Like, a lot of my friends have been hacked from that. And pretty much what some hackers do is they take their data, they encrypt it with a special encryption key that they make, and they are only able to access, the hackers are the only people that are able to access your data, and you can only access your data once you have either paid them from a bribe or from a ransom or whatever. It's actually called ransomware, and that's where a big portion of companies do is to create VPNs. And VPNs pretty much takes your IP address, which everyone has. Everyone has a certain IP address for each of their specific devices. It is normally made from your internet router, and what you do is when you activate a VPN, it pretty much takes that IP address of yours and it changes it to anywhere in the world, so that hackers won't be able to hack you, because it shows that your IP address is somewhere else in the world and it's not your actual IP address. So once they try to hack you, they'll realize that there's no data and then it's not worth hacking. And if we can up on the VPN and up on the password protection and all of that, a lot less people will actually get hacked. And if people stop pressing random links and only getting stuff from trusted people and all of that, there will be a lot less hacking, and there's a lot less scamming and all of that. So, AI in everyday life. Like I mentioned, there's Siri and all of that. But there's actually not only Siri, there's many, many other different chatbots, and literally most phone companies nowadays have something sort of like Siri. All it is it's able, you're able to say, hey, whatever, like, hey Siri, whatever. And you literally are able to ask it anything and it'll give you an answer within seconds. And many people use that on a daily basis because it's just so easy. It's so easy to say, hey, whatever, give me the Pythagoras theorem, give me 25 minus 4, whatever. You can literally ask it anything and it'll give you an answer. It just has to be a specific question that the person, or no, not the person, the chatbot is able to answer. Because once it's not able to answer the question, it will come up with an error and it will either ask you to rephrase it or it will tell you that it is unable to answer the question. So once asking a question, you must be very specific and very clear with the question you're actually answering or asking. Then, the biggest part of this podcast that I want to speak about is the scare that many people have. A lot of people that I talk to have the scare, and it's the scare that AI is going to take over the human race. Now, let me give you some facts. At the moment, in our generation, we have many robots that act like humans. Yes, they might be very scarce and there might be little amounts, but they are out there in the world. They are robotics that are able to act and look like humans. And once those robotics get advanced enough, it can take over the world. But I don't want to scare you guys. There is ways to prevent it. You have to make sure that the robotic you are trying to make, or that you have made, is not more intelligent than you are. You mustn't give it the information on how to take over humanity and all of that. Obviously, this is all conspiracy theories, and there's a lot of debates about it, whether it's actually going to happen or not. But so I want to touch on two specific movies actually that give the sense of fear that AI is going to take over the world, and what will happen if AI had to take over the world. So the influence of sci-fi movies such as The Matrix and The Terminator have a big impact on how people fear the AI taking over the human race. Now, in The Matrix, you can see that pretty much from their point of view, the world is actually fake. You're stuck in the Matrix, which is pretty much like a huge database of humans that are stuck in this one big capsule that everyone just lives their daily lives in. But once you break through the Matrix, then you get shown the real world. And what their real world is pretty much this like destroyed version of Earth, this destroyed version of the solar system and the galaxy. And it's all run by robotics and AI, which, in all honesty, it doesn't really make sense, because there's a lot of proven facts to point that we aren't in a simulation. And the people who think of this is actually pretty funny, because it always makes me laugh every single time I see something saying how we're stuck in a simulation or whatever. Because, I mean, how can we be stuck in a simulation? It just doesn't actually make sense on how we are stuck in a simulation. But to get back on the actual points, there's a lot of fear from watching these movies that people are ignorant and naive enough to believe that this is real life. And obviously, it's a science fiction movie. And it literally says fiction. Fiction is make-believe. But people believe it, and people think it's real, and that people think that it's real life. They're stuck in the Matrix, they're stuck in a simulation, whatever. Like, it doesn't actually make sense to me. So that is why people have the fear of AI taking over when watching those sci-fi movies. So, some other scares that people have with AI taking over the world is the fact that there could be the potential of AI taking over employment, taking over people's jobs. Like, you can already see it in factories. Factories have become so advanced with technology that they don't need people making toys, people creating cars, because it's been proven that a machine can do it for them. Now, a machine can build a car. A literal machine is making another machine, which is quite funny, to be honest. So there's a lot of scare that softwares, programs, and technology and robotics will take over a lot of employment, and then people will be stuck on the streets knowing that a robot took over their job. Like, they so easily replaced. They, with their experience, their degrees, it doesn't matter to them. As long as there's something better, there's a better alternative that the company sees, they will replace the employees as quick as they can with new technology. That won't have to be paid wages, won't have to be anything. They'll literally have to just spend once-off payment, and if it gets damaged or whatever, they'll have to repair it. But it's a once-off payment that will save them millions of rands and dollars, due to the fact that they don't have to spend money on wages. They don't have to spend money on any of the additional costs that comes when employing someone. And people will feel so easily replaced by the fact that technology can so easily take their job. And that is another big scare that people face whilst knowing that AI is becoming more and more advanced as the days progress. So, some people believe that AI will become a lot smarter than actual humans, and it's been a big scare for a long time, and I can tell you that the scare is quite reasonable. I've seen, like, ChatGPT is smarter than most people on this planet, and that's just a chatbot. Now imagine a robot with an actual hardware inside, an actual, let's say, brain. It can get so much smarter. It can learn new things. It can learn new techniques, new algorithms, whatever. But the one thing that can prevent this is the manufacturer or the designer making sure that whatever they make in the CPU or the brain of the robot, make sure that it won't be able to progress and learn new things and become more advanced. Because once the creator has made the robot be able to become more advanced, become more intelligent, that's when we can be scared to the fact that AI can take over the world. Once we are still smarter than the robots, we know how to turn them off, we know how to stop them, we are still okay. We still know how to control the world, we still know how to control the robot itself. But as soon as the robots become more intelligent than actual humans, that's where the problem lies. We don't want robots becoming more intelligent than us. We don't want robots to take over the world, because then we will have a war with robots, and robots are pretty much indestructible. They are intelligent. They know literally everything we want to ask. Like, how are we supposed to fight against them knowing that they know everything in this world? They know how to literally create anything, do anything. You can literally, like, plug a USB into them and load flipping karate lessons on mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, and they can become professionals at all those criterias in a matter of seconds. Now that's scary, because people take years to master the art of martial arts, jiu-jitsu, karate, whatever. Years. They can do it in a matter of seconds. And that's it's very scary. But we need to make sure that we are on top of it, and we don't let the robots get more intelligent than we are. Because once that happens, like I said, it is pretty much over for all of us, and it's over for the human race. So, to end off this podcast, we have to ask ourselves, is the evolution of AI, the advancements of AI, really worth it? Is all of this technology that we've created as humans worth the risk of all of these problems and all of these fears and all of these scares worth it? And I'm going to answer that question now, with my opinion, at least. You guys can have your own opinions. You guys can let me know your opinions down below in the comment section of YouTube or in the Q&A section of Spotify. You guys can let me know down below what your guys' feel is on the AI taking over. And so there are segments of AI that is good for humanity, and there's segments of AI that is horrible for humanity. the good segments in humanity for AI, in my opinion, is the fact that we have chatbots, we have ChatGPT, we have Siri, we have Amazon Alexa, we have Google, we have all of that. That is good. That is good for humanity because we are able to source information in a matter of seconds whilst and like when incredibly needed. A lot of the technology nowadays has been very good and very good for humanity because as far as we've come in the world, all the technology that we've created is good for humanity, especially the rocket ships. Elon Musk, I mean, hey, we're not wasting materials, we're not polluting the earth, we're not damaging our earth. We are saving materials, being eco-friendly. Yes, obviously the fuels and the flames and the pollution, all of that isn't eco-friendly, but at least it's not having to have extra labor and extra fumes and pollution to make those rockets and to create all those extra things that is pretty much being saved. So it is one step closer to an eco-friendly earth and an eco-friendly society. Those are the good things that I find that humanity needs or has whilst having AI. Now, there are a lot of scares and fears about AI, and I'm going to tell you some of them. You can scroll through Instagram Reels for a long time, and I'm sure sometimes you'll see robots that have been made by companies that can talk, do math calculations, literally be a person in a robot. They are literally a robot, but acts like a human, speak like a human, think like a human, whatever. But they are 100 times smarter than us humans because they'll be able to come up with solutions, problems, and they can just think in a matter of seconds while we have to take time and actually process what has been asked to us and what has come to us. We need to process it and think about it, whilst the computers and the technology and the AI can think of it in a matter of seconds and they'll have an answer for you in literal moments. That's the biggest scare and the biggest downside to AI and humanity. But that's my feel on this topic. I mean, you guys can have your own thoughts and feels to yourselves. You guys might be there thinking, hey, AI is amazing. I want robots. I want artificial intelligence to advance even more than what it is already. And then some of you guys might want no robots, no artificial intelligence, no technology, no nothing. Some of you guys might have that feel. Some of you guys have the same feel that I have and the same opinion I have. And then some people will have completely opposite feels and opinions to what I have. But we all have an opinion in this world. We all have the right to have an opinion. So this is my opinion on the subject. And if you guys did enjoy this podcast, please let me know down below. It was really nice making this podcast. I think it was really good for me to share my opinions on this topic. Because like I said in the beginning, in the very first episode of my podcast, I'm a tech geek. I love technology. I love everything to do with technology. I can speak for hours on technology. So that's why I think I want AI to advance a little bit more, but not to the point where it takes over the world. I want to grow up and see restaurants having more robotic waiters, technology getting more advanced, things becoming more wireless and more reliable. I want to see that, but I don't want it to get to a point where it's like scary and where it is detrimental to the human race. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this podcast, please let me know down below. Like my YouTube videos, all my podcasts on YouTube, on Spotify. Go check them out. They've amazing podcasts, especially my previous one. It was all about the death penalty debates. If you guys did enjoy the podcast, please let me know down below. Like, subscribe. And yeah, watch my previous podcasts. They were amazing podcasts. And I won't take as long to upload my next podcast, but there might be a little bit of a delay. I'm thinking of doing a podcast next week Friday, so if you guys do want to see that, please let me know down below. Like this video. This will definitely motivate me to do another podcast for you guys. I really do love doing these podcasts for you guys, and I just love expressing my opinions and sharing my opinions with you guys. So